Kings and queens of quarantine, what's up? It's your boy Ari. Welcome back to another episode. Today is this 18th episode, the 18th consecutive week that I'll be posting under the radar. It's about my guy, RJ Hampton. What happened to this guy? He was so good in high school, but what became of him after his fell off? Now, he hasn't completely fell off yet. I mean, he kind of tripped. He tripped himself and fell. But the question is, how is he gonna get himself back up? Because right now he's kind of crawling, and struggling to get back his hype. I mean, when you think of the 2020 NBA draft, you're not thinking of RJ. You're thinking of LaMelo, James Wiseman, Onyeka Okongwu, Obi Toppin, and everybody else, but not RJ. I mean, a lot of people forgot about this guy. I mean, this guy averaged nearly 30 points in high school, or technically nearly a triple double in Little Elms. I mean, this guy was averaging 27 points, 6 to 7 rebounds, and then 4 assists, which is really good, and led his team to a championship. I mean, this guy was everything in high school. Everybody thought that he would be in a traditional route of going to college and then just completely dominate college and then head straight to the NBA. But no, that didn't end up happening. After his senior year of high school, he had one decision in mind. Should I play in the pros already and get ready for the NBA draft after that? Or should I go to college and further my education and basketball? Now, honestly, that's a lot of decision that athletes make these days. Most of the prospects I cover are either special in college or just special in general. And I found this guy to be very special. Because I remember a couple years back, I remember my friends, including Matthew, wouldn't stop talking to me about RJ. I mean, RJ, I looked at his highlights, I'm like, holy shit, this guy has everything. He got the layup package, he got the handles, he got the hustle, he got the dunk package. He got everything. He got the range. I mean, I compared this guy to Jamal Murray, honestly. His game is Jamal Murray written all over it. I mean, this guy was getting recruited by some of the best colleges you can ever see for basketball. Duke, Kentucky, Memphis, and Kansas? Really? Those four amazing colleges decided, okay, let me give you a offer. If I was offered by any one of those colleges, dang, it would take me years to decide between Duke, Kentucky, and Kansas, man. I mean, all programs are amazing and great, but I wouldn't really take them to mind. I'll just look at the Western schools, since well, I was born in Los Angeles, so I'm like, okay, I'm thinking either USC or UCLA. But this guy was offered the best of the best. I mean, USC and UCLA in recent years hasn't been great. I mean, USC has been getting better lottery picks than UCLA. It just our coach is quite picky, and that's why Sharif left us. Rip for us. Rip Bruins fans. I'm sorry. I'm crying too. Don't worry. Even I was hoping RJ would go. Even RJ considered that UCLA was a good option for him, but he didn't really commit to that idea of him going to the Bruins, which that upset me quite a bit. So this guy was dominating in high school. Monster. What I can tell between him and Jamal Murray is their basketball IQ. Their shot selections are really phenomenal. And the fact that Jamal Murray was able to step up in this year's playoffs. And to beat the Lakers by 2 games, to beat the defending NBA champions, which I'm like, you know what? Creds, I'll give credit where it's due. I mean, congrats to all of us. I mean, Lake Show, it's my first championship. Me as a conscious human being, not as a baby or a toddler or some sort of kid. So this guy decided, you know what? Let me change the normal route of high school. Let us get my ass overseas. And where did he go? The National Basketball League in Australia. He didn't go there on his own, but he decided to sign with the New Zealand Breakers. Now he signed a 2-year, 800,000 buyout with the New Zealand Breakers. I mean, that means if you can be bought out by 800,000. I mean, his year was quite disappointing. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. I mean, I gotta give this guy a chance. I mean, he was kind of suffering out there. I mean, yes, the NBL is not the NBA, but I'm telling you, those people, those Australians are really tall. And they'll make foreigners and imports really work for their money. Not as much as China, but hey, same concept. So RJ was struggling. Why was he struggling? I mean, the sheer maturity of his game needed work. I mean, in high school, you could do whatever you want. You could do a crossover, behind the back layup. I don't care. The coach doesn't really care. But this is the big leagues. I mean, the NBL had a crossover with the NBA. And Ja Morant was in the building. He had to fight Ja Morant, 2019 Rookie of the Year. Ja Morant versus RJ Hampton. That's why he was struggling. Look at him. He could barely guard him on switches. Once Ja switches, he was screwed. And I could give him credit where credit is due. I'm literally just imagining a high school player going against the NBA's Rookie of the Year. So I'm giving him some slack here, including the first year. He just needs a more of a mature game. You know, he can't take the shots that he can normally shoot in high school. Because in high school, he can pop a midi, he can pop a layup, he can do whatever he wants. But in the big leagues, you are controlled. Most especially in Europe. I mean, I can tell by experience, you know. You have to play more organized, more composed. And I experienced that. I mean, I have a New Zealand coach. He coached the Tall Blacks. And as he was teaching me some plays, I just felt more familiar with European basketball. Since European basketball is more selfless, you make your teammates look better. And a lot of scouts like that. You know, they're kind of too tired of the traditional I'm a show off kind of thing. I mean, RJ also had to face CP3, Chris Paul, the guy who nearly beat the Rockets single-handedly with Shai Gilgis Alexander. I mean, RJ had to face CP3, Aquaman. I don't really like calling him Steven Adams, more of Jason Momoa, since they look like twins. Deontay Burton, the defensive specialist, Terrence Ferguson, and Shai Gilgis Alexander. RJ and Corey Webster had to face against that stuff, bro. And RJ did a good job. Not saying the best job he could do, but he did a good job. He had some decent plays here and there. I like the way he organized himself. I mean, this was a problem for him. I mean, imagine that you were playing as these guys in frickin' NBA 2K, and you just realized you have to guard them tomorrow. Even the dad of uh, RJ was like, you play with Chris Paul, and the fact that you're playing against him tomorrow is just damn. So I just gave RJ a pass. But unfortunately, these games with the NBL and NBA preseason cup didn't benefit him. He was originally a top 10 selection, but he's starting to slip. Now he's 13th. And the people who hold 13th are the New Orleans Pelicans. And unfortunately, the New Orleans Pelicans, they're a playoff team, but they're not ready yet as an 8th seed team. I mean, in the NBL, he either had the option of going to the NBL or the NBA G League if the team that drafts him buys him out. I mean, the Pelicans already have an NBL next star in Didi Louzada. If you guys don't know Didi Louzada, he's half Brazilian and half American. He's currently playing for the Sydney Kings, and he's playing the NBL Next Stars program. What is this NBL Next Stars program? This is what happens. You get to be drafted by an NBA team. They own your rights. They can send you up and down anytime. It's kind of like you don't have to play in the G League, but instead you just play in the NBL. That's what basically happens. So you don't have to play in the G League. And how you benefit it is that both teams get the pay. They actually have an even pay. Like Sydney's paying him, and New Orleans is paying him a little check, a little bit here, just to check up on him. But he's on call. He's on strike. But honestly, RJ has been slipping. Honestly, he has to fix his act soon, because if he doesn't, he might be a bust. But I'll give him a knockout of a bone here. But RJ could be the next bust. But I don't want him to be a bust. As much as possible, I don't want him to be a bust. So I'm giving him 2 years of chances. Because the only time you know when a bust is a bust is by their second or third year in the NBA. That's how you know whether they're decent, good, or just plain out trash. So as long as RJ can just fix how he plays, I think he'll be in a really good place. It's just that it was unfortunate that the hype was all caught by LaMelo. Everyone was focusing on LaMelo in Australia. Because I was literally with my friends, they're like, oh my god, LaMelo just dropped a sick ankle breaker, or a sick 30 points. And I would just remember, hey, ain't RJ there? And then, like, my friends will be like, oh yeah, RJ's playing there pala eh. And they just forget about him. And I'm just here to remind you guys that he's here. And please give this guy a chance. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. Give this guy 2 more years. And if he doesn't perform or at least score double digits by then, you guys are right. With the fact that this guy would pop out against Scott Machado, one of the best guards, I think he's going to be something in the NBA. So if you guys enjoy videos like these and for me to continue the streak, and hope you guys like and subscribe to this video. Guys, we're 2 videos away from season 1 to be finished. 20 consecutive weeks of making videos for you guys, okay? Kings and queens of quarantine. See you guys next week.